Can I please request the audience to rise for the national anthem, please?
Recording in progress.
Assalamu alaikum. We begin the proceedings by invoking the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May I request Qari Saab to come and recite a few verses from the Holy Quran. Thank you very much.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وذروا ما بقي من الربا إن كنتم مؤمنين فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله من الله ورسوله وإن تبتم فلكم رؤوس أموالكم لا تظلمون ولا تظلمون صدق الله العظيم. जो आयत मुबारक तिलावत की गई उनका खुलासा, ए ईमान वालो अल्लाह से डरो अगर तुम वाकई सच्चे मोमिन हो। तो सूद का वो हिस्सा जो किसी के ज़िम्मे बाकी रह गया हो उसको छोड़ दो। अगर फिर भी तुम ऐसा ना करोगे तो अल्लाह और उसके रसूल से ऐलान जंग सुन लो। अगर तुम सूद से तौबा कर लो तो ये तुम्हारा असल सरमाया, तुम्हारा हक है। ना तुम किसी पर जुल्म करो और ना तुम पर जुल्म किया जाए। व आखिरु दावाना अनिल हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन।
Jazakallah. Honorable President, Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Dr. Alvi, Honorable Governor, Sindh, Mr. Imran Ismail, Dr. H.E.Dr. Hussain, Advisor to the Prime Minister on Institutional Reforms, Dr. Raza Baqir, Governor, State Bank of Pakistan, and Dr. H.E.Dr, the ex-Governor, State Bank of Pakistan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to welcome all of you to the 4th Roundtable Conference on Islamic Banking organized by Pakistan Observer. May I take the permission of the President to start the proceedings? Thank you very much. To begin the proceedings, I would like to invite Mr. Zahid, Faisal Zahid Malik, to give the welcome address. He's the Editor-in-Chief of Pakistan Observer. Thank you very much.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Honorable Dr. Arif Alvi Sahab, President of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mr. Imran Ismail, Governor of Sindh, Dr. Ishrat Hussain Sahab, Advisor to the Prime Minister on Institutional Reforms, Dr. Raza Baqir Sahab, Governor, State Bank of Pakistan, Madam H.E.Dr, Chairperson, Pakistan Stock Exchange, distinguished presidents of the banks, Shariah advisors, and head of Islamic Banking Division, business communities, diplomats, dear ladies and gentlemen. It is my profound privilege to welcome you all at this RTC on Islamic banking. The way forward, myself and my colleagues in the Pakistan Observer feel honored and inspired by the presence of such personalities at this high-profile event. I am obliged to all of you from the core of my heart for having accepted our invitation to participate in the conference of national importance. I am particularly obliged to the Honorable President of Pakistan for his gracious presence here, and I am highly indebted to the President for he has not only very kindly graced the occasion today, but also for support of the national and Islamic causes undertaken by Pakistan Observer. I am also grateful to respected Governor Sindh, Mr. Imran Ismail, who very kindly accepted our invitation to participate. I am equally obliged to the Federal Minister, Mr. Shaukat Tarin Sahab, who is, in spite of his crucial engagements in Islamabad, has very kindly managed to squeeze time for this event on video link. I am also grateful to respected Raza Baqir Sahab, Governor, State Bank of Pakistan, for his active participation and by holding seminars and roundtable conferences such as investment opportunities in Pakistan, energy crisis, Chinese nuclear plant K2, K3, etc. My father, late Mr. Zahid Malik, founder of Pakistan, who was a great advocate of promoting Islamic banking in Pakistan, considering roundtable conference on Islamic banking in Pakistan from an event, 5th World Islamic Economic Forum, held in London, October 29, 2013, where besides the then Prime Minister and the then Finance Minister participated. Mr. Zahid Malik was the only non-governmental person who was invited to attend the conference. Huge potential of Islamic banking inspired to host a RTC on Islamic banking in Pakistan. Therefore, he organized very successful roundtable conferences in Capital and Karachi, like this conference. The third roundtable conference is also a sequel to the previous 3 conferences. Distinguished guests, the Pakistan Observer had the privilege of publishing a full page on Islamic banking on every Friday since 2015. It's our commitment to a national cause and to further boost the Islamic banking sector in Pakistan. Now we pledge to publish full 2 pages on Islamic banking. Dear guests, we in Pakistan Observer are determined to take the mission of late Mr. Zahid Malik forward to continue his legacy of highlighting the issues of national importance and always supported the government policies and especially in foreign investment. Pakistan Observer has started working on since long by hosting 2 roundtable conferences on Pakistan Paradise for Investment with the cooperation of Board of Investment. I would like to announce from this August forum that our 3rd roundtable conference on the subject Pakistan Paradise for Investment, Economic Revolution from Kashgar to Gwadar and beyond 230 will be held soon with the cooperation of all stakeholders. Distinguished guests, as the Islamic banking is gaining momentum in Pakistan, and it is our proud privilege to have a panel of distinguished speakers who will give elaborate presentations and apprise us of the way forward in Islamic banking. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to request the Honorable President of Islamic Republic of Pakistan, His Excellency, Dr. Arif Alvi Sahab, to kindly formally inaugurate the RTC. Thank you.
I inaugurate the conference.
Thank you.
Bismillah ke saath.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. Shaukat, Tarin, the Finance Minister, was supposed to join the conference today, but there has been an impromptu meeting with the Prime Minister of Pakistan and is scheduled to travel outside. So he'll be joining us via video link from Islamabad. Are the arrangements in place now? Mr. Finance Minister, you're welcome.
Excellencies, Dr. Arif Alvi, President, Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Mr. Imran Ismail, Governor Sindh, Dr. Ishrat Hussain, Dr. Raza Baqir, Mr. Faisal, Zahid Malik, and Mr. Zahid Malik, respectable Shariah Board Chairman and CEOs of banks. Distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum. I feel today that I'm honored for being given the opportunity to address this August gathering at the 4th Roundtable Conference on Islamic Banking, which has been organized by Pakistan Observer, a well-established and a prominent English daily newspaper of the country. Mr. Faisal Zahid Malik and Zahid Malik deserve special appreciation for holding this event that has gathered a wide array of stakeholders of the Islamic banking industry under one roof. The background of a healthy growth experienced by the Islamic banking industry so far, the need for carefully determining its future course of action is imperative. In this context, I believe the theme of the conference, Islamic Banking, the Way Forward, has most aptly been selected. This has in fact prompted the distinguished speakers to objectively analyze this progress made so far and contemplate upon the ways and means the future path of taking the industry to its next phase of development. Ladies and gentlemen, Islamic banking has grown rapidly both in local as well as in international financial markets, spanning both Muslim and non-Muslim states, and has assumed systemic significance in a number of jurisdictions. It is successfully delivering a range of financial services in a variety of segments, including banking, non-bank financial services, Islamic insurance, and capital markets. Apart from its faith-based appeal, the increasing interest in Islamic finance industry stems from its strong economic and social considerations. Its skewness towards asset-backed and equity-based transactions helps promote entrepreneur friendliness and consideration of project viability. Furthermore, it also enjoins higher ethical standards due to its emphasis on non-exploitation and social welfare. Hence, Islamic finance offers us with prudent financing options that ensure that transaction is less prone to debt crisis and the funds are employed for their prescribed purpose, minimizing defaults. In addition, Islamic finance promotes financial inclusion by bringing that segment in financial ambit which has consciously excluded themselves due to their faith sensitivities. Since Pakistan suffers from low financial services penetration, Islamic banking stands out potentially a very powerful tool for enhancing access to finance and empowering the poor and vulnerable groups. This can thus help in poverty alleviation through inclusion of a larger proportion of population into the banking system, giving them access to credit and mobilizing their savings effectively. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very glad to know that the Islamic banking industry in Pakistan has progressed well since its inception. After the initial learning from the experiment to transform the entire financial system in the 1980s, it was decided to transform the banking system in a gradual and phased manner wherein Islamic banking was to be promoted as a parallel and compatible system based on a market-driven and flexible approach, keeping it in line with best international practices. Since then, the government of Pakistan has played a pivotal role in the promotion and development of Islamic banking industry, as a result of which today it stands recognized as a stable and resilient segment of the overall banking industry. Provision of a level playing field to the Islamic banking and finance industry vis-a-vis the conventional financial system has been one of the priority areas. The current government, as part of the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, have Islamic banking 25% per year 23, with increase in branches of Islamic banking institution 30% of the entire banking industry. The orderly growth and development of non-banking segments of the Islamic finance universe, for example, Islamic capital markets, mutual funds, and takaful, is also very important, as it not only provides necessary support to Islamic banking industry, but also plays a role in overall growth and development of the economy. In this regard, both the regulators, State Bank of Pakistan and SCCP, have in a coordinated manner attempted to facilitate the promotion of Islamic finance by taking a number of important measures that have helped in increasing its outreach. The emergence of Sukuk has been a significant development in Islamic capital markets due to its ability to raise financing under Shariah permissible modes while maintaining a strong linkage between the real economy and the financial sector. In case of Pakistan, the Sukuk markets have witnessed good progress as both the sovereign and corporate entities have been issuing these instruments. With regard to the long-standing issue of lack of liquidity management avenues for Islamic banking institutions, I am pleased to share that lately increased issuance of Sukuks have taken place, and a major part of the same has been done by Government of Pakistan. Hopefully, that is providing the industry with required impetus to further expand its footprint on the banking landscape of Pakistan. As Islamic banking in Pakistan has now gained systemic importance, the need for generating a program of regular issuance of Sukuk is in sufficient volume and in standard maturity is important, and it will not only promote the Islamic banking industry but also facilitate the public financing operation. There is, however, a need to undertake research activities for exploring Sharia-compliant asset-light structures, which can help the government issue more Sukuk. Learning from experiences in other parts of the world may also provide the needed help in this regard. The State Bank's efforts for development of the Islamic banking industry are commendable. Recent rolling out of a third five-year strategic plan, which is developed in collaboration with the stakeholders, shows the commitment of the regulator in providing leadership and direction to industry for sustaining its growth momentum. An important area where the government and State Bank has played a key role in facilitating the Islamic banking industry was provision of tax neutrality vis-a-vis the conventional banking system. Keeping in view the peculiar nature of Islamic banking modes, some critical tax-related matters had arisen a few years ago, which had put the industry in a disadvantageous position. The FBR and State Bank had dealt with this matter on a priority basis, and after taking the Islamic banking institutions on board, tax neutrality was provided to them and their customers by Government of Pakistan. Regular recognition of State Bank efforts at the global level by being awarded as the best central bank to promote Islamic banking is another feather in its cap, which clearly reflects its better performance in comparison with other regulators around the world in promoting Islamic banking in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, exploiting innovatively the unique features of Islamic finance through adequate adaptability and without compromising Sharia principles will be critical to the growth and promising future of Islamic banking industry. In my view, the distinct elements of risk and reward sharing, stronger linkage with the real sectors, and faith-based social responsibility makes it a powerful channel for concurrently achieving the goals of sustainable economic development and social progress. The next growth frontier in Islamic finance, I believe, lies in realizing its true potential by creating greater socio-economic impact. In this context, the Islamic banking institution is expected to more actively venture into the currently underserved areas like agriculture, SME, microfinance, infrastructure, and housing, as these, apart from being untapped and having potential for earning better returns, also play an important role in GDP growth, employment generation, and overall development of the country. Today, we are all aware that the role of financial institutions in achieving sustainable development while pursuing the universal agenda of economic growth cannot be overemphasized. In this milieu, globally, the relevant stakeholders are giving due weightage to concepts like responsible, ethical, and green financing, which encourages the adoption of economic growth strategies that do not compromise on long-term sustainability. Islamic teachings about natural environment, social security, and good governance are completely in line with the various dimensions of sustainable and green finance. The congruence of the business philosophy with Sharia rules can improve the effectiveness and efficiency in coping with the current environmental crisis, as Islamic financial institution can rapidly implement green finance ideology in its letter and spirit. In this scenario, being widely regarded as an ethical, inclusive, and socially responsible system, Islamic banking institution can take the lead by making due contribution in the area of green banking. Given the potential of Islamic finance to promote infrastructure development in the developing countries like Pakistan, it is important to deliberate amongst the stakeholders how to optimally utilize it in public-private partnership delivery frameworks. In this regard, identification of relevant policy, legal, regulatory, and institutional interventions that are necessary to enhance employment of Islamic project financing for such development is very important. Since most of the stakeholders, including the project sponsors, have limited exposure in respect to application of Islamic finance to infrastructure, PPP projects, there is ample space for awareness and knowledge building in this area. China's Belt and Road Initiative also offers an opportunity for Islamic finance, as many of states along the infrastructure belt are predominantly Muslim, whereas some of the projects will go through some main Islamic finance countries. Pakistan Islamic Banking Institution should actively contribute to deploy the resources in the CPAC initiatives, which offer public-private partnership opportunities in various sectors of the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end, let me congratulate all stakeholders of Islamic finance industry, State Bank of Pakistan and Security Exchange Commission of Pakistan, Islamic banking, and non-banking financial institution, as it is the result of their collective efforts which has brought sustained high growth of Islamic banking and finance in the country. I would like to once again appreciate Pakistan Observer for successfully holding this fourth round table conference on Islamic banking, which has attracted accomplished Islamic finance industry practitioners, scholars, experts, and other important stakeholders. I'm hopeful that the deliberation made today will prove fruitful in achieving the objective of the conference, i.e., provide a path forward for promoting sustained growth and development of the Islamic banking industry in the country. In this regard, I assure the full support and cooperation from the government side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tarin. I think the audience has been rightfully reminded of their obligation, particularly the practitioners of Islamic banking, by the Minister of Finance to deliver Islamic banking services that are non-exploitative and have got a solid grounding in the obligations towards the society. Thank you very much, the Minister of Finance. Mr. President, almost about 21, 22 years back, in a speech at the Council of the Institute of Bankers of Pakistan, a person delivered a vision for Islamic banking. It's possibly the easiest thing to do is to deliver a vision, but to execute it and take it to its path of growth and enlightenment, not many people possess that. And here we have Dr. Ishrat Hussain, who made possible that vision not only in terms of envisioning it, but also in terms of creating the regulatory framework that was initially required. May I please invite Dr. Ishrat Hussain to express his views. Thank you very much, sir.
Rahim. Honorable President of Pakistan, Dr. Arif Alvi, Honorable Governor of Sindh, Mr. Imran Ismail, Dr. Raza Baqir, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all thank the organizer of this very important event for inviting me to share my thoughts. I'd like to start by paying tribute to the memory of late Zahid Malik, a devoted patriot who organized the first roundtable conference, and it has been my pleasure of attending most of these conferences. As you all know that Islamic Banking and the Finance Minister has very aptly pointed out, can meet the challenges which are faced by our society and economy. What are these challenges? You all know these are poverty alleviation, income and regional inequalities, human development, unemployment, and inclusive growth. Let me begin by giving you a possible scenario of the potential of Islamic finance. The practitioners of global finance today all know that impact financing, ethical financing, and particularly environmental, social, and governance financing, which is ESG, are expanding on the global scene quite rapidly. And I have argued before the non-Islamic finance practitioner audiences around the world that Islamic financing incorporates all the salient features of the impact, ethical, and ESG, but has an attractive additive factor, that is asset-based, asset-backed financing, which mitigates the risks inherent in the present global financial architecture. Let me elaborate what this. If you see the cause root of the financial global crisis of 2008, the industry produced exotic products such as the credit default swaps and collateral debt obligation raised to cube, which were stacked up on the piles of additional risks over the underlying risk. And the credit rating agencies failed to comprehend these complex structures of these products. The principal tenet of Islamic finance, as enjoined by Quran, is justice and equity. The rules governing property rights, contracts, distribution and transfer of wealth, use of excessive wealth by individuals beyond moderate limits, entitlements of the poor and downtrodden are all aimed at ensuring justice and equity. Therefore, societal, material, and physical well-being, along with the spiritual well-being, are to be maximized rather than individual self-interest that form the sole basis of the capitalistic system and guided the financial architecture which led to the collapse of the 2008 financial crisis, with tremendous impact on the not fall upon the borrower, and the supplier does not take it all, which is the tradition in the conventional banking system, while the borrower fund does not become financially insolvent. So there is something inherent in Islamic finance which could have avoided the whole episode, unfortunate, of the global financial, the present financial architecture. So we cannot confine this as a faith-based instrument, but we have to take a case for Islamic finance as a stabilizing force for the global finance. And this is the point I wanted to emphasize before this audience, because I think the social media would carry the whole message about the efficacy and importance of Islamic finance. Coming to Pakistan, I would like, because of given very limited time, I would like to share with you that from 2001, when we started the Islamic finance in this country in the true sense, and which has come to just pat on our back, but looking forward, I would like to point out some of the responsibilities and the challenges which Islamic banking has to overcome. First, I still maintain, and most of you have heard me, that we still have a lack of new products and services. Islamic banks in Pakistan have been too obsessed with making conventional banking products Sharia compliant. To critics, this is nothing more than bells and whistles wrapped around existing products. Secondly, deposit mobilization has picked up speed, but asset deployment has not kept pace. I know that some of the banks are so liquid that they refuse accepting deposits, which hurts the mobilization of savings for the country. The ratio of financing to deposits is dismally low. Next, as the finance minister said, and I'm not going to repeat, there are underserved and under-neglected sectors which need to be the focus of attention for the Islamic finance. Fifth, the proliferation of Sharia boards at the level of individual financial institutions